Hello, Gemini. It is time for a love reading for you. Something a little bit special, and it is my first timeless reading for you, which is really nice because everything doesn't always have to have a date attached to it. So when you find this, it will apply, and you'll know pretty quickly whether it's the reading for you or not, because with these general readings, they are not as specific as they should be because they're for lots and lots of people. So if it makes sense to you, then by all means enjoy it thoroughly, and if it does not make sense, move on, and no harm done. So I hope it does apply to you. I really, really do. I like to have accuracy, but like I say in these general readings, we can't always have that because everybody's different. You are all individuals, and you'll make different choices, and different people will come along and all that good stuff, which is why life is interesting and fascinating. So my specialty is love readings, and I was not always the most romantic person on this earth, but something has happened to me, and now I am. I am the most romantic person on earth. And my boyfriend calls me the love bug, which I never thought anybody under the sun would call me this, because trust me, I used to be, I won't say cold, I was always like a passionate person, but things like Valentine's Day I thought were meaningless and commercial and stupid and wasn't into it. I thought that flowers were stupid because they died. What's the point? Then I just have to throw them out and clean the vase. Why do I need this in my life? Like, really, I did not have any kind of romantic sense whatsoever. So I don't know why this happened, but somehow it did happen that I became the love bug. So there you go. So that's what's happening now, and I'm going to go with it because it's a lot more fun than not being the love bug. Okay, so I'm going to use Tarot of the Night for you. This is going to be about the love of your life. It's hard to get accuracy. I'm not trying to do a disclaimer here that it's not accurate, but when you're doing the general readings, like I said, but also when you're trying to put all the cards into a person exactly, when you're not sitting in front of me, I'm not feeling your energy, I'm not having you touch the cards so that they sort of come out your way and all of that good stuff. I'm not saying it's impossible, but it is general. So let's see what happens here. I love this deck, except for, as you'll see, some of them make no sense in the way they look as to what the card meaning is. And this does not matter if you're already in a relationship or if you are seeking somebody. I'll try to gear it to, a general enough situation that you can make it apply if it's meant to be. So let's randomly go to this card. Temperance. So perhaps this person is a temperate person, somebody not too out there, somebody who walks the middle line to a degree. This is the exact opposite of everything I am in life, so I don't understand these people, yet they function in society, and probably a lot less people hate them than they do when we go, oh my gosh, I'm this way, I'm that way, I'm so aggressive, I'm so passionate about this, that, the other thing. So I'm guessing these people who follow a more temperate life have, I don't know if I want to say an easier scenario, because I would imagine being like this is somewhat hard, and temperance can apply to not drinking too much, not spending too much crazily, not beating yourself up too much, not being so opinionated that you have to, barf your opinions onto everybody at every moment, It actually probably takes a lot more effort than the aggression of being something else to walk the middle line. But you'll always see this card, even in this deck, which is kind of different, with water and purification. It's about purification. And on the other side of purification is rebirth, always. So it's actually really a beautiful card. So if you can find somebody who's like that, I haven't known a lot of people like that, because I'm putting a card which has a meaning, a major arcana card, into a person. So let's see where this heads. Let's go with this card. So this is not a great card, the Ten of Swords. But I'm equating this card to a person. I'm not necessarily saying that this card is going to make you feel betrayed or that this person will betray you. But when we are talking about something general and these cards, it could mean that. I mean, I don't always know what the cards are trying to reveal, and sometimes it can be unexpected, but sometimes when you really look at it, it's all laid out for you. So the Ten of Swords is not always about betrayal, though, so there's always complexity. The Ten of Swords can be about feeling defeated. You could have a person who has been betrayed and who has felt defeated. I mean, the traditional Rider-Waite card has a fellow who has 10 swords sticking out of him. That does not mean that anything physical happened, because swords are just air and thoughts and ideas and all of that. But it can mean that that person has really been through some serious pain, as far as they may have been betrayed. Sometimes the betrayal isn't just like a lover who, went off with somebody else. Sometimes it can be your parents didn't take very good care of you. It can mean that there are a lot of people in this world who nobody's ever sort of had their back. They've always had to kind of go it alone. And sometimes that feels like a betrayal, or the pain of it is just so intense. It's that defeat. If you have a person like this, I'm not saying it can't work. It absolutely can work, depending on what you're like. And Taurus, you guys are very loving and kind and nurturing, typically. Very grounded. That person might need somebody like that. And, it's like sometimes you take something and it's... Okay, this is a weird example, but I'm going to use the example of... You've probably seen on the internet those dogs that people find who are so messed up. They've been starved, they've been beaten, they've been so tormented and screwed up. And then somebody cares for them and gives them some love, and they just become these fluffy, beautiful, adorable, loving things. So I think we have a concept in our society that whenever something is hurt or screwed up, it's kind of like it's always going to be problematic. That may be true of a small percentage of those people, but I really do not believe that it's the major percentage. I think people can come back from all kinds of things, and what doesn't kill you does make you stronger. That is one of the truest statements of all time. I think that when you come back stronger, you have all kinds of power that you would never have had otherwise. I don't like the idea of that. When I was younger, I used to say, oh, that's a bunch of crap. When you have to suffer to achieve whatever. That's not true, obviously, because I know people who haven't suffered and they're fine and they're good and whatever. That can be true, but adversity does things to us. And I mean, it depends on what kind of adversity we're talking about. I'm not talking about being mauled by a lion necessarily. I'm talking about hard work, having to go through things, learning about people. It's like you can't have every relationship be perfect if you love freely and go into the relationship realm. I mean, it's not a place where everything's perfect, but do you want to have a love life? Do you want to have relationships with people? I mean, if you have kids, those can be some of the most painful relationships. Not because there's any, even when everything's good between you and your kids, but it's like there's fear that you'll lose them somehow. There's all this stuff that I often think people who don't have kids, they never have to feel guilty about anything. They never have to feel sad. They never have to feel worried. Or that's my perception of it. I know that's kind of unfair because I'm sure you do feel that about. But when it's your kids, it's kind of like you created this situation. If they don't know what to do or they're lost, it's like if you had done something different earlier on, maybe things would be different and better for them. Or at least that's how I think. And I'm not a super guilty person or anything like that. But just relationships come with a certain amount of pain. Say you have the perfect relationship. Say you're a teenager and you meet the man or woman of your dreams. It's the perfect thing. It's all love and, just the most respectful, kind, loving, sexy, fantastic, progressive relationship. And when I say progressive, I mean progressing through the stages, not a political stance or anything like that. It's the best relationship ever. And so then what? Somebody's going to die eventually. There will be pain. There will be pain. Even if it's 80 years from now, there's going to be horrific pain, because nothing comes without the other side. Nothing does. So I'd rather be taking part in it than not. And I'm just going to put that out there, Gemini, and you can, you guys are different. I'm going to say this because I generalize about fire signs and I generalize about earth signs because they tend to be more similar to each other. But I do find that you guys, air signs, are not like that. You're kind of all over the map. I can't say, oh, well, you would do this or you would do that because you're all so different even from each other. So let's dive into another card and see where we get with this because I'm a little confused. So, the Six of Wands. This is one of those cards where the depiction makes no sense to me. Although I love the way she looks on this background. She looks kind of gothy, crazy, cool. So anyway, it's the Victory card. It's a card of victory. It's a card of attainment. It's a card of being recognized for your achievements, having worked or done something good that people recognize, and you're victorious. I mean, she doesn't really look all that victorious. She looks like, she needs a hit of something immediately, if not yesterday. And, she doesn't really look thrilled out of her mind. Now, does she? She looks kind of miserable. So it's not what I would call a great depiction of the Victory card. Although, strangely enough, I love this deck. I'm not putting it down because I'm super into it for whatever reason, some crazy unknown reason. So perhaps this person has had some victories to overcome the trauma. Sometimes I say this is a card of baggage. Anything with swords, it can mean baggage, And when I say baggage, because I hate psychobabble, it's just something, it's a word that people understand. It's that which we carry with us, which can weigh us down thought-wise, idea-wise, concept-wise, the way we view ourselves, all of that stuff. It's kind of heavy-duty, and we tend to carry it. So anyway, the Victory card. So we've got this heavy-duty feeling. We've got Temperance. So the person is really trying to do the right thing, but they are making achievements, and there's some trauma here. The Emperor. So if this is your guy, and it could also be a female, but let's just say it's your guy. I mean, honestly, look at this creature. Is he the cutest? I'm not really a goatee person, but he's still like the hottest version of the Emperor I've ever seen in my life. So if this is your guy, he's strong, authoritative, very powerful, very decisive, really knows how to put things into action. He's physical. He's, he's everything. He represents Aries, so he could be an Aries if you're involved with an Aries. Now, I've known a lot of people who are Gemini, and I'm Aries, and I was married to a Gemini. For me, that was the worst thing that could have ever happened, ultimately. But, Geminis do not fall into a slot. They just don't. So I would not judge a Gemini by that experience or any other experience I've ever had with one, because they are all so different. Or at least that's what I've discovered in my life. So whether or not this is a person, if you are not after an Aries, perhaps it means you want somebody who's very strong and authoritative and has power, you know, and power can be achieved and perceived in many different ways. I mean, some people think that power is being rich and famous. Some people think that power is having a good, strong hold on that which you oversee. Whatever that may be, you may respond well to a powerful partner, which is not a bad thing, in my opinion. Oh, this card. I almost pulled her out. She's a special card for this deck, the Angel of the Night. But she's so kind of romantic, I had to keep her in. I was thinking, how do I really apply her to a love reading? I'm not totally sure about that. But, oh darn, I had the little book, and it was somewhere. Oh, here it is. I knew it was going to be somewhere that I could reach it so that I could read you the thing out of the little book, because I could just, you know, say it in my own words, but I really wanted you to hear what it said about it. I am the angel of the night. If you've picked me up, then my message to you is that your inner night is soon coming to an end. You may have walked in darkness for some time, but soon, very soon, a new full moon will rise and will show you the way. My phosphorescent butterflies are here to guide you. Believe in luck, believe in me, believe in you. My black, soft wings are protecting you from now on. Into your ear, I whisper my sweet lullaby. Have no fear, honey. Everything is going to be fine. The night is nothing to be afraid of anymore, and the warm sun that you hold within is ready to shine again. So, as much as I wasn't really sure how that applied to a love reading, I'm going to say it is such a beautiful, strong, hopeful card. And whether you already have your lover or whether you're seeking that person, that is such a strong message, and I'm kind of loving this card. I mean, I just think it's a fantastic card. I think that's like all the things I love about this deck. The Angel of the Night, I'm liking it even more. She's a little dark. She's kind of like a creature of the night, holding you in her soft, dark wings. Kind of exciting, but pushing you into the light. Pushing you into the light, within your inner light, which is really, really exciting. So, love her. So, the Four of Pentacles. Okay, so this is kind of an odd depiction. Well, maybe not. So, the Four of Pentacles is all about holding on to something. So, let's say this is your person, and we have yet to have a card which indicates something for sure about the person, unless it's this Aries Emperor sort. So the Four of Pentacles is all about holding on. Now, it could be you wanting to hold on to this person. Maybe this person is so enticing, but I'm guessing it's about them holding on to something. And let's hope it's not holding on to the past, holding on to these energies which need to maybe be released. But I'm guessing with Temperance is such a complicated card. It really is, because on one hand, you don't want somebody who's so in the middle that they can't have a good time. But then there's this whole purification aspect. And so that's interesting. So it can mean they're a little bit tight-fisted with money. But sometimes there's a purpose for that. Sometimes they're saving up for a goal. You know, as annoying as that may be when you want to spend freely like a maniac, at the same time, when they've saved up to buy you a house, that might not be the worst thing ever. You know, I'm not trying to, again, there are reasons people do things. For me, I get the Four of Pentacles because I feel like I'm hanging on to my children. So there are many things you can hang on to or try to. Trying to hang on to things is not the easiest thing in the world. But when it comes to money, sometimes that is something that it doesn't have a mind of its own. You can actually control it, which is kind of delightful. So that might be what's going on there. Okay, so here's our first actual indicator of a person. The King of Wands. He's strong, he's powerful, he's active, he's physical. He is exciting. And that goes totally along with our Aries type figure here, the Emperor. So the King of Wands is an Aries, Sagittarius, or Leo. I'm Aries. I love Aries people. I love Leos and Sagittarius. They are so exciting. I can't handle how exciting they actually are. If you, I've had a couple of boyfriends when I was really young that were Aries. That was really great. But I've never, had a long-term relationship with an Aries or a Leo or a Sagittarius. But these are exciting people. These are people who are very active and passionate and just exciting. And, often they're very free thinkers. They're full of ideas. They're full of creating things. If this is in your future, I have to tell you, I'm a little jealous. This guy looks like he might be the guy. Now, of course, sex is interchangeable in the cards. That's always been a thing. It's not some, modern addition or anything. So, the Seven of Swords. Okay, this is such a complicated card, and I always find this card does not have any of the meaning. But I will tell you this. So, the Seven of Swords is supposed to mean failed plans, gossip, thievery, deception, all kinds of negative things. So I'm going to throw that out there because in case it means running away is another one, and that's kind of what's depicted here. So if any of those things are the thing about this person, I'm just going to put that there. But I'm also going to add this. People who do things, people who put things into action have failures. So failed plans can be a part of a person who is a doer in life. If you read anything about all the people who've made billions and billions of dollars, they've all had failures. I have not read one thing about a person who has made it in any industry that has not had a lot of extreme failures, bankruptcies, all kinds of things where they were like so distraught money-wise. And the reason is because you are taking risks. If you're this person, you are probably a risk taker. Now you Gemini, I don't know if you are into that or not. If you are, this may be very, very attractive. If you aren't, it may be the last thing on earth you ever want to encounter. So, food for thought. Now, so far, we've only got this fire sign person. So, let's see what our last card says. And it is the King of Pentacles. Of course, it has to be another person, but this could be you. Oh, no, this can't be you. You're an air sign. So, this is not you. So it's another person in the mix, just to complicate the waters. I was thinking, oh, that was going so well. We knew what we were dealing with for sure. Something in life is concrete for once, which it never, almost ever is, right? So we've got the King of Pentacles. My boyfriend's a King of Pentacles, so I know this person well. This person is a Taurus, a Capricorn, or a Virgo. Very grounded, very accomplished, very good at investing in things and waiting the course for them to come to fruition. Whether it's a financial investment, they tend to be precise. They tend to be slow moving, or at least that's the perception, because if you're like me, you're kind of all over the place and there's all this crazy energy, and I'm sure there are debates on whether an earth sign and a fire sign are good together. So we're going to be talking about this duality here of I'm a fire sign and here's an earth sign. Yes, I know I'm injecting myself into your Gemini thing, and maybe you don't want to hear that, but because I do happen to know about these two signs like really, really well. I also have a daughter who is a Capricorn. So these earth signs, they sometimes they're ill-perceived because these are people who are really interesting. They tend to be mechanical. They like to take things apart and see how things tick, and then put them back together and see how things work. They're very inventive. But when it comes to the way they operate in life, people see them as kind of slow-moving. They like to invest in health. They're very into the body, very physical. And they also like to do things that stand the test of time with money. Like they invest in things at a young age, and then they're quite happy to stay the course and wait till, the investment matures. And so they're very, very interesting people. Very interesting. So you've got these two choices. What the heck are you going to do? I don't know. Just if you are with one of these two phenomenal characters, you will know what they're like already. And maybe you had to make a choice when you got together. Maybe there was this other person in your life who you could have gone that way. And then you'll know where this story goes. Maybe you haven't met these people yet, but now that you have this reading in your head, you can sort of think about it and what the other cards could mean. Who's the one? I guarantee you that the holding on applies to the King of Pentacles, because they invest and they can be very, very generous people. So it's not like that. This card, the Four of Pentacles, can sometimes be depicted as being a person who's stingy. I have not found that to be true, and it's not like I've only dealt with one person who is an earth sign. I've got tons of them, including clients. So I know they are not typically stingy people, but they often will have all their money tied up in certain things that they're trying to set in motion. So there's that. But then you've also got the King of Wands. He is fiery. Fiery is exciting, and the Emperor sort of supports this guy, the authoritative, decisive, strong, happening, hot kind of a person. I love this reading. I really do. I think this is the first love reading I've done like this that I've got strong feelings about. I'm not sure who's who, but I'm excited about it. I feel a kind of a rush of excitement about this reading. So my darling Geminis, I hope this works for you, and that it helps, and that whoever you decide to fall in love with, that it's successful and fantastic and gratifying and makes you super, super happy. Have a good one, and I hope to talk to you soon.